"Oh, goody!" and "I won't forget to wear my button!" and "I wonder what bird it will be!" from every side. Rarely ever did we have an absent mark on Bird Day. After we had used all 10 of the leaflets you sent us, we had lessons on some of the other birds, or, instead of a regular lesson, we went for a bird walk. I divided the class for these walks, taking 10 children at a time. How excited they would get over the birds they saw! Nearly always they could identify the birds themselves. Sometimes I helped them, sometimes my bird book helped me, and sometimes we had to write in the notebooks "Unknown." I will not try to tell you about all the good results of our Audubon class that I have noticed. The most important thing, I think, is that a few more children have a keen interest and a true love for their little brothers of the air. Last year a favorite pastime of a neighbor was shooting birds for his cat, and I think he was no more particular than his cat as to the kind of birds he destroyed. His little daughter was a member of the Audubon class, and this spring I notice our neighbor's cat has to catch its own birds. Perhaps, if the little girl can be an Audubon member another year, there will be no more cat. A mother of another little member of the class used to delight in birds' plumes, breasts, or feathers of some kind on her hat. Her spring hat this year was trimmed in ribbon. I have heard several bird lovers say that they have noticed more of our common wild birds about this place than there were last year, and they believe the junior Audubon societies in the schools have brought about this happy state. When school closed many of the mothers came to me and said that they wished to thank me for what I had done for their children along the line of nature study, especially of birds. They said that they thought the junior Audubon class a splendid thing for their children, and I think it is equally good for the teachers. Another junior club leader, Miss Edna Stafford, a teacher in the public schools of Albany, Indiana, writes, "One day last summer a 12-year-old boy was out in our street with an air gun shooting at every bird he could see. Recently this same boy came to me with a bird that was hurt, and in a most sympathetic tone said, 'Who do you suppose could have been mean enough to hurt this dear little bird?' Our study of birds in the junior Audubon class brought about this change in the boy." Junior Game Protectors. Another leader reported from Nashville that the 1,000 junior members in the class there had turned into voluntary bird wardens, and spied upon every man or boy who went afield with a gun. In a number of places the juniors have built and sold bird boxes by hundreds and used the proceeds for advancing the work. In one town the juniors had a most successful tag day and collected funds that were used to buy grain with which to feed birds in winter. In Connecticut a most helpful and stimulating communication has been established between many of the classes. A junior class in the Logan School, Minneapolis, has even started the publication of a magazine called Owaissa, after the Indian name for bluebird, as given in Longfellow's Hiawatha. Sending birds' nests to city children. Mrs. Anthony W. Dimmock of Peekamose, New York, makes the following interesting report. The Robin Junior Audubon Circle is composed of the boys and girls of 3 district schools in a Catskill Mountain valley. No one school has enough pupils of required age to form a circle, and the distances between them are so great that frequent meetings cannot be held, but good work is being done. The most interesting feature of our work the past year was the collection of abandoned birds' nests in the autumn. One school of 5 pupils collected over 100 nests. From these collections 2 selections of 10 nests each were made to be sent to New York City. One collection went to the Jacob Riis settlement, and one passed through the hands of 3 kindergartens, interesting 100 children. To each nest was attached a colored picture of the bird which had made the nest and a description of its habits. Letters from the settlement children and the kindergartners brought to the circle expressions of delightful appreciation. The National Association of Audubon Societies, with headquarters at 1974 Broadway, New York City, makes the following offer of assistance to those teachers and others who are interested in giving instruction to children on the subject of birds and their usefulness. To form a junior Audubon class for bird study, a teacher should explain to the pupils of her grade, and others if desired, that their object will be to learn all they can about the wild birds, and that every one who becomes a member will be expected to be kind to the birds and protect them. Every member will be required to pay a fee of 10 cents each year. When 10 or more have paid their fees, the teacher will send their money to the National Association and give the name of the Audubon class and her own name and address. The association will then forward to the teacher for each member whose fee has been paid the beautiful Audubon button and a set of 10 colored pictures, together with the outline drawings and descriptive leaflets assigned to class study for that year. The teacher will also receive free of cost for 1 year the splendid magazine Bird Lore, which contains many valuable suggestions for teachers. It is expected that the teacher shall give at least 1 lesson a month on the subject of birds, for which purpose she will find the leaflets of great value as a basis for the lessons. Rules for a Bird Study Class. If the teacher wishes, the Audubon class may have a regular organization, and a pupil may preside upon the occasions when the class is discussing a lesson. For this purpose the following simple constitution is suggested. Article 1. The organization shall be known as (give name) Junior Audubon Class. Article 2. The object of its members shall be to learn all they can about wild birds, and to try to save any from being wantonly killed. Article 3. The officers shall consist of a president, secretary, and treasurer. Article 4. The annual fees of the class shall be 10 cents for each member, and the money shall be sent to the National Association of Audubon Societies in exchange for educational leaflets and Audubon buttons. Article 5. The Junior Audubon class shall have at least 1 meeting every month. Although most of these classes have been and will be formed among pupils in schools, any one may form a class of children anywhere and receive the privileges offered. Subjects for study. Besides the study of the particular birds in the leaflets, the following subjects may be studied with profit. Birds' nests. In the fall, after all the birds have left their nests, the nests may be collected and brought to the schoolroom. Study them and learn that the chipping sparrow's nest is made of fine rootlets and grasses, and is lined with horsehair. Examine the mud cup of the robin's nest, the soft lining of the loggerhead shrike's nest, etc. Feeding birds. In winter, arrange bird tables in the trees and by the windows, and place crumbs and seeds on them. In summer, put out bathing and drinking pans. Note what birds come to them and how frequently, and report what you observe to the class. Nesting boxes. In early spring, put up nesting boxes for bluebirds, wrens, chickadees, nuthatches, martins, and other birds. The leaflet sent will be found to contain many suggestions about bird feeding and nesting boxes, and the proper way to make and place the latter. Coloring outlines. The children, using crayons or watercolor paint, may place the natural colors of the birds upon the outline drawings provided, using the colored plates for comparison. This is one of the best ways to fasten in the memory the appearance of the birds, and thus quickly learn to recognize them in the field. Many teachers have utilized this as an exercise for the regular drawing hour. Teaching children, approved by the government. Considering the importance of the subject and the success that the plan has met, it is little wonder that the Hon. P.P. Claxton, United States Commissioner of Education, early gave it his unqualified endorsement. In one letter he wrote: I consider the work of the Junior Audubon classes very important for both educational and economic results, and I congratulate you upon the opportunity of extending it. The bird clause in the Mosaic Law ends with the words, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest prolong thy days. The principle still holds. I hope that through our efforts the American people may soon be better informed in regard to wild birds and their value. In America we have neglected the subject of protecting our bird life, and as a result in many sections we are suffering today from scourges of insects. Too long the careless and thoughtless have been allowed to wander aimlessly afield and shoot the birds that cause the winds of prosperity to blow. We must teach the children to avoid the errors that we have made. It is our duty to the child to give him of our best, and teach him with all his getting to get understanding. End of Chapter 12. End of the Bird Study Book.